Coming up, why Manatee will be getting more than Sarasota for red tide cleanup.
Plus, we'll hear from the people who are exposed to the red tide each and every day. And the latest on a Sarasota-based travel agency that owes millions of dollars to customers after shutting down. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 11.
Millions of dollars of funding from the state is now available for some of the counties in Florida impacted by red tide, including Manatee and Sarasota counties. ABC 7's Rick Adams joins us live from the Coral Shores development in Bradenton, which is one of the areas that has been affected. Rick?
Yeah, Jacqueline, good evening. This money will definitely help. Dead fish have been a problem here for quite some time. Manatee in Sarasota County is getting some relief from the state of Florida for cleanup of the dead fish. Manatee is receiving $750,000, while Sarasota County is getting nearly $100,000. The state's Department of Environmental Protection says counties come to them with projects for the cleanup, and that's why it varies on the amount counties receive. $500,000 of the total amount goes to the contractor picking up the dead fish in Manatee County.
The remaining $250 were kind of really in active conversations over, how far will that $500,000 go, whether we need to allocate the remaining $250 for that contract.
The remainder of that money could also go to reimburse Manatee County for the cost accrued so far with the cleanup of these dead fish. Michelle Whalen has lived on the canal in the Coral Shores development for 23 years. It's a neighborhood impacted by lots of dead fish and the smell. She tells us there's another smart way to have these dead fish picked up.
I've heard some proposals of allowing the local fishermen to work with some of the removal, which I think is a great idea. Pay them to do that. They're losing money by not. Their income is gone if the fish are dead.
A total of $6 million has been made available from the state for counties not only affected by red tide, but by the blue-green algae as well, $3 million of which was just released.
At some point we have to have a conversation whether this is a persistent issue over how much we're able to spend. I don't know that there's going to be an empty pot of money or a blank check from the state indefinitely.
In Sarasota County, a spokesperson says the $100,000 they are receiving is just an initial request for state assistance, and that money will be used with logistics and resources to help with the cleaning. Both Sarasota and Manatee counties have declared a local state of emergency. And Manatee and Sarasota County officials say if they need more money, they are confident the state will pull through for them. Reporting live from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams. Jacqueline, back to you.
Rick, thank you. Another dead dolphin has been recovered in Sarasota County, bringing the total number of dead dolphins to 14 since August 7th. Venice Marine Patrol says that the dolphin was found by sea tow about a mile off of the Intracoastal Waterway in Venice. 2 dead sea turtles were also rescued today by Mote Marine scientists. Now, these were further north near Anna Maria Island. Meanwhile, lifeguards in Sarasota County seeing and feeling the effects of red tide. Currently, not all lifeguard towers are open due to the diminished crowds, and lifeguards are rotating shifts to help alleviate some of the respiratory issues caused by the red tide. These lifeguards are also utilizing masks that they bought at a local hardware store to help make their jobs easier.
Before we had the masks coming out here, what you're doing is you feel nauseous after breathing these fumes all day, and you're coughing and coughing, and you have a splitting headache from coughing. So people were calling in more for sure because they weren't feeling well.
Routh also says in these hard times, the lifeguards are patrolling the beaches in trucks with the windows rolled up and air conditioning on. He says they will continue to do their best to notify people of the conditions. And birds are also being affected by the red tide. Experts at Save Our Seabirds tell us 6 laughing gulls suffering the effects of red tide have been brought to their shelter in the past 2 weeks. Experts say red tide affects the way birds think and walk since it is a neurotoxin.
So basically it affects their neurological system and they're unable to stand and walk. So it looks like they have broken legs or they're unable to keep their head up, but it's just basically the toxins not allowing them to move properly.
Well, laughing gulls are the only birds here on the Suncoast that have been affected so far, but Lee Worthy says brown and white pelicans will head back here in December, so they are hoping that the red tide clears up by then. And lawmakers will be holding a conversation this weekend to address the red tide problem in Sarasota. State Representatives Margaret Good and Joe Gruters are hosting a joint town hall from 3 to 4:30 in the afternoon on Saturday to hear concerns about the red tide. That will take place at Suncoast Technical College's Conference Center on Beneva Road. Well, let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. And Bob, I know we've been talking about it, other people have been talking about it, that smell. It just seems no matter where you go, you can't escape it.
So no longer is it just a coastal problem, it is now an inland problem as well. A lot of people talking about the nasty smell up and down the west central coast of Florida, and that's more a result of the decaying fish and the fact that we had a pretty heavy west wind, not a heavy, but a sustained west wind anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour all day long, and that west wind brought all the impacts of that smell well to the east of I-75 tonight. Get a look at the latest map from the FWC showing these areas in red. Those are high concentrations. That's what we're talking about, 1 million cells per liter stretching from basically Collier County up into Manatee County. No reds in Pinellas, but interesting to note, this is the third report in a row that Pinellas County now is showing red tide sampling, and we're into the moderate category and low categories up there into Pinellas County. Red into Manatee County, a lot of it too, and it is now starting to show up north of the Manatee Avenue area. It hadn't been that far north. It was starting to go that way, and it's even at the mouth of the Manatee River. So that's a big problem. So what we do know is it's growing. It's gone from 130 miles as far as the coastline goes to 145 miles. And now it is not weakening. It's either sustained and staying where it is, or it's growing in some cases. And it's spread to Pinellas, obviously smelling of decaying fish now well east of I-75. The news is now that we're getting a little bit of an east wind, so that should help matters a little bit overnight, but how many people are outside during the early morning hours? Tomorrow morning should be okay, but those winds are going to switch around pretty quickly to the west by, say, midday, and should stay west 5 to 10. That will once again cause more problems with that nasty smell that we have become accustomed now, especially coastal residents. Jacqueline, back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. New at 11, 2 people have been arrested after a car chase in Manatee County. A deputy spotted a car believed to be stolen. While attempting to drive behind that car, the driver sped off, leading deputies on a chase through the Holiday Heights, Bayshore, and Cedar Hammock areas. Deputies were finally able to catch up to Jared Wilkes and Casey Chivers at Gar Fair Mobile Home Park, which is just off of 9th Street West. The couple tried to hide under a mobile home, but were found and arrested. Tonight, a warning to keep your cars locked at night after a recent string of car burglaries. Take a look at the surveillance video provided to us by the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. Deputies say they are looking for the man in this video seen breaking into several unlocked cars. Deputies say these videos were taken last night at the Country Oaks subdivision just off of Lockwood Ridge Road north of University Parkway. Deputies say this man is responsible for several burglaries in that area. He's described as 6 foot tall, white with a tattoo on his left arm and another on his right calf. Anyone with information should call Crime Stoppers, and just a reminder to lock your doors. An update on a story we first brought to you back in November on a travel agency that owed customers millions of dollars when it shut down. Now, Florida's Attorney General Pam Bondi has filed legal action against that company. They say Legendary Journeys, which had 11 offices throughout Florida, owes more than $3 million to people nationwide, and that they do not have enough money to pay back creditors. The lawsuit also says that the company took all this money that was supposed to be used for vacation packages and used it to pay for personal expenses and to make extra payroll distributions. Over 800 people have lost thousands of dollars and vacations of a lifetime.
I think the only thing that might have triggered something, when we didn't think about it until later, they wouldn't take a credit card for the deposit. They definitely wanted a check. And see, if we would have paid with a credit card, we could have gotten the money back.
The Attorney General's office filed the claim to make sure that all customers receive full refunds and that the owner of Legendary Journeys can never operate a travel agency again. Now, that owner did respond on Facebook to that lawsuit tonight. Al Ferguson says he has done everything possible to bring the issue to a satisfactory conclusion. Well, for the first time in years, Sarasota, Manatee, and Charlotte County school boards met to talk about the issues that each district is facing. Those three boards came up with a list of issues that they plan to take to lawmakers. The boards seem to agree that special needs students should be exempt from the Florida Standards assessments, also that career and technical education needs more funding. Representatives from the three counties say they want the safe school and law enforcement funding from last year to continue in the future. The boards also recognized a need for more VPK or voluntary pre-K funding to push students to enroll. The plan now is to put a list together of the priorities discussed today. Then that group will put a legislative package to lawmakers after election season.
We agreed to combine for these efforts our respective lobbyists that we've retained so that we have a much more, we have a stronger local voice in Tallahassee.
In the past, the three boards have met every year, but there was no meeting last year. No plans were made today for another meeting in the future. Well, stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, what law enforcement found in this old KFC may surprise you. And new footage from the day of the Parkland school shooting, why the defense doesn't want the public to see it.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP is the largest locally owned CPAP supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP can show you the most up-to-date CPAP equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic CPAP sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest CPAP equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
People in Hawaii are getting ready for Hurricane Lane. That storm is expected to pass close to or over the mainland Hawaiian Islands later this week. Residents are preparing for the worst. They've been grabbing all the essentials just in case the electricity goes out or water shuts off. Now you're looking live at Honolulu, Hawaii. Our sister station there is keeping us updated on their conditions. So far, they can confirm that, like here in Florida before a hurricane, grocery stores are empty. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it's hard to resupply those. I mean,
Yeah,
you get the long way, absolutely, in some cases. The waves could get as high as 25 to 30 feet. Now, they are used to some high surf, obviously. This is a different kind of wave. On top of that, we've got a new update now from the Hurricane Center suggesting that it is losing a little bit of strength as expected, but still a very potent Category 4 hurricane with 145-mile-an-hour winds. We're dealing with something totally different here. Normally, we'd be talking about tropical systems and hurricanes, but we have the stench of red tide making its way inland. We had that west wind today. You can see those clouds at the lower levels moving from the Gulf right on into the coast and well inland east of I-75 in some cases. Beautiful sunset, though. For the red tide, it would have been a beautiful day, but the sunset was nice, wasn't it? That's Tower Cam showing that. Photos sent in, quite a few of them. This one from Dane down in Boca Grande, looking pretty nice there in Boca Grande. And Heather Todd getting this one from out east of I-75, I think near Mayaca City. And some high clouds around, creating this nice shot from Pat, and also another shot from Fred Seeger. Little sea oats right there with the foreground and the nice orange and pink clouds in the background. Well, the frontal boundary is really the culprit for changing our winds around to more of a westerly flow. That front all the way down into North Florida, which is unusual. You don't usually get fronts down here this time of year. High pressure now bumped off to the southwest of us, and that's providing us a little bit of a more onshore flow. Typically, the high pressure resides off the Carolina coast. We get an east to southeast wind throughout the night and the day, and then the west coast breeze develops later in the afternoon, and that's when we have those big storms fire up. That'll happen back on Saturday and Sunday, so we'll start to get back to that. But right now, we're noticing some showers out there associated with that trough of low pressure and with a west wind. Tomorrow morning, expect a chance for a few coastal showers because right now the east wind will kind of collide with that west wind and create some storms off here in the Gulf of Mexico. Most of the rain today, as expected, the heaviest stuff well inland and along the east coast. We had a few spotty showers right near the coast. Look for a little bit better chance, I think, of some morning showers popping up here than we saw this morning, and then they'll move on inland throughout the late afternoon. Even in the morning, we'll see a few more hanging around to about midday, around noon. And then, as I said, most of the heavy activity will develop in the central Florida and along the east coast. Now, by Friday, we start to see a little bit more southerly wind move in. As that front fades to the north, it will allow high pressure to build back in north of the state, and that'll happen especially on the weekend. We'll get a better chance for those showers and storms, some possibility of heavy rainfall and a little bit more lightning around come Saturday and Sunday. But Friday, looks like football Friday night should be okay for the most part. There'll be a few storms around here and there scattered about, but looks as though the heavier rain will come Saturday and Sunday. Better chances for it anyway. Dry air just to the north of us, not having much success of moving in anytime soon, so we're going to stay in the warm, moist sector as far as that goes. In the tropics, I mentioned all is quiet now, nothing going on out there, and we don't expect anything for the next 5 days. In fact, it's going to be pretty quiet, I think, through late August and through early September. We'll see how that plays out, but wind shear is expected to be pretty strong throughout the Caribbean and the Atlantic. Well, this is Lane, and Lane, very healthy storm. Earlier today was a Category 5 hurricane, 160-mile-an-hour winds. Those are down now to 145. It's moving to the northwest at 8, so it is making that break. And as far as the forecast cone of uncertainty goes, you can see it covers a little bit more of the western portion of the islands now, and it could be a Category 2 hurricane. Some pretty strong winds. It's going to create big surf. They'll be to the right of the center, and that means they get the dirty side. Heavy rainfall, a big concern there with a lot of flooding problems, and that could be an issue, especially on in through Friday. West winds turn to the southwest, 5 to 10 knots, and a light chop out there. The extended forecast, and it looks like this. Tomorrow, 40% chance for rain in the morning near the coast, better chances inland. Same goes true for Friday, but I think any time during the day will be the better feature there. And as Saturday and Sunday goes, a 60% chance for afternoon and evening storms coming back from the central part of the state toward the west coast in the afternoon and evening. So that's more of a typical summer pattern. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to a developing story out of Iowa. The suspect in the murder of college student Molly Tibbetts in court today, facing a first-degree murder charge. ABC's Zachary Keish tells us how his employer says he bypassed the system.
University of Iowa students coming together for a vigil to remember Molly Tibbetts.
From this day on, Molly will always be with me.
The young jogger's accused killer appearing shackled in an Iowa courtroom Wednesday afternoon.
Mr. Rivera, you have been charged with murder in the first degree.
24-year-old Christian Rivera listening to the charges against him through a translator, held on $5 million cash bond. Molly disappeared while out for a jog on July 18th, and authorities say Rivera led them to her body in an Iowa cornfield Tuesday. Investigators say they solved the case using surveillance footage that showed the suspect's car near Molly during her run.
Frame by frame and in real-time motion, and eventually saw Molly on the video, led us to Mr. Rivera, identifying the vehicle.
The owner of the farm where Rivera worked for the last 4 years saying when they hired Rivera, they screened him through an older system instead of the Homeland Security's newer E-Verify system.
What we learned in the last 24 hours is that our employee was not who he said he was.
Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley now asking Homeland Security to turn over all information on Rivera. Grassley co-sponsored legislation with fellow Iowa Senator Joni Ernst called Sarah's Law, named in honor of another young Iowa woman, Sarah Root, killed in 2016 by an undocumented immigrant. Zachary Keish, ABC News, New York.
A stunning find along the U.S.-Mexico border in Arizona. Through a search warrant, Homeland Security and the Border Patrol raided what used to be a KFC. When they got inside, they found a tunnel into the kitchen area. That tunnel was only 8 inches in diameter, but was 22 feet deep and nearly 600 feet long, ending at a home in Mexico. Authorities say the tunnel was used to smuggle illegal drugs across the border.
That was over 118 kilograms of methamphetamine, over 6 kilograms of cocaine, over 3 kilograms of fentanyl, over 13 kilograms of white heroin, and over 6 kilograms of brown heroin. I would particularly note that just the 3 kilograms of fentanyl translates to over 3 million dosage units.
The tunnel is currently still under investigation. Here in Florida, new video released today by the state Supreme Court shows the chaotic moments outside of Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School on the day a gunman killed 17 people. The heavily edited and blurred video shows law enforcement's response outside of the school and students and staff being directed away from the scene. The Broward County School Board tried to block the video's release, claiming that it would reveal security blind spots at the school. Prosecutors also opposed releasing it because it could be evidence in a criminal case against 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz. He now faces the death penalty if convicted. Well, primary elections are less than a week away, and candidates and political groups are making their final push for support. The goal is not only to make people aware of the primaries, but to get as many voters to the poll as possible. Both parties at various locations in Sarasota County encouraging people in the community to get out and vote. They're doing their part, looking to get record numbers for the primaries.
There are 38,000 more Republicans here in Sarasota County registered than Democrats. So we realize that we need to get every Democrat to the polls.
We're doing lots of canvassing, door-to-door efforts. We have 4 headquarters open. You see TV ads, radio ads. Everything is trying to drive the message home that people should get up and go vote.
Primary election day is next Tuesday, August 28th. The polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And when you head to the polls, here's a few things to keep in mind. 5 early voting sites, including the 3 election offices, are now open to voters through Saturday for early voting. Those locations are the Biscayne Plaza in Northport, the R.L. Anderson Administration Building in Venice, the Terrace Building in Sarasota, the North Sarasota Library, and Westfield Sarasota Square Mall. Now, if you're voting on election day, you must vote at the polling place in your assigned precinct. You must also take a photo ID. And lastly, today was the last day to request a vote by mail ballot. Those ballots must be returned by mail or in person by no later than 7 p.m. on Election Day. Carnival Cruise Line says it's bringing its largest cruise ship to Port Canaveral. Carnival reaching an agreement to make the port the home of a ship that can host 5,300 passengers. The new cruise will debut in 2020 and will be powered by liquefied natural gas. Sports is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Tonight, Kimmel's jam-packed with comedian Jim Gaffigan. Hours of happiness. Wide receiver Antonio Brown and his mini-me's. Plus unnecessary censorship and Imagine Dragons rock the outdoor stage.
Wow, that's amazing.
crazy. Emmy-nominated Kimmel, tonight on ABC.
According to a new survey by U.S. News and World Report, 3 of Alabama's top 4 hotels and resorts are part of the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail Resort Collection. The Grand Hotel Marriott Resort in Point Clear, the Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel and Spa, and the Renaissance Birmingham Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa. Hey, we didn't invent Southern hospitality, we just offer more of it. Visit rtjgolf.com/resorts to find out more.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Now, sports.
Ohio State University head football coach Urban Meyer will be suspended for the first 3 games without pay. Those games are against Oregon State, Rutgers, and TCU. Now he's being punished for mishandling a domestic abuse case.
I want to apologize to Buckeye Nation. I followed my heart, not my head. I fell short in pursuing full information because at each juncture, I gave Zach Smith the benefit of the doubt.
Athletic Director Gene Smith will also be suspended without pay through mid-September. Well, registration for the 2nd annual Skyway 10K will open soon. Organizers of that event announced today that registration for next year's race will open on Thursday, September 10th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. 100% of the proceeds from that race will benefit the Armed Forces Families Foundation. This year, they raised more than $500,000. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers straight ahead.
Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP is the largest locally owned CPAP supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP can show you the most up-to-date CPAP equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic CPAP sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest CPAP equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
A follow-up now on a story that went viral. A 25-pound cat named Bruno has a new home. Now, Bruno became a big sensation because of his hefty size. A Chicago area shelter said applications to adopt Bruno came in from all over the world. One couple went the extra mile to adopt Bruno by sending in a song called "Gimme That Fat Cat." You know, I used to have a cat that was about 25 pounds when I was a kid.
That bowl away
but that one was a little bigger.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm glad he got adopted, though.
Yeah, look for a few morning showers and a few thunderstorms around to start things off.
All right, thanks, Bob. And thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you right back here tomorrow evening. Have a good one.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
It's rainy season on the Suncoast. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When there's the potential for severe weather, you need to know fast. Trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather to get you the information you need right away. We focus on the storms that impact where you live, and we're committed to alerting you with important information as soon as we get it. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Tomorrow at 9 on Suncoast View.
They're a big part of the Suncoast social scene. We're going to see how auctions work behind the scenes. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. We'll get some do's and don'ts from auctioneers and learn how they talk so fast. Then we'll learn how to use acupuncture to treat addiction and veterans' health issues. Plus a preview of Venice Theater's last summer cabaret show, and Simply Gourmet joins us in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 9 on Suncoast View.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.